Hey everybody, today we're gonna be doing a no chair challenge. Can you kick ass in Elden Ring PvP without a chair? Also, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about PvP etiquette as the ultimate source of this stuff. Because I'm the king of PvP in Elden Ring, you know, you no need to think about it, you know, that's a fact right now. I'm the top dog. And I'm gonna be telling you what is an honorable duelist. And I don't need your, this is addressed to people who know what I'm talking about, what the PvP is, what the Colosseum is about. And yeah, this is addressed to you guys, but that doesn't mean you have to leave a comment, you know, talking about it or giving your opinion, because frankly, I mean, respectfully, you don't fucking know. So this is me telling you how to honorably fight in this game. Also, no chair challenge. So let's start. All right, we're gonna jump straight into it. And we're gonna talk about the first misconception of this game. Does bowing at the beginning of the fights actually make you an honorable duelist? It actually doesn't. Maybe the one after the fight. That one is pretty honorable, you could say. But the one at the beginning of the fight, that's just stupid. Let me tell you something. If you bow at the beginning of the fight, you're just not being a real, you're not really fighting. Why is that? Because if you do that, I can call you a sort of a wishful thinker. You know what I'm saying? Wishful thinking means it's okay to waste time at the beginning of the match. If you actually play enough in these games, you understand, you know, the people that really fight you, you understand that 1 second is enough to actually change the tides of war, as they say. And you see, the 1 second matters a lot. Why? Because you get to buff. That's the important part about emoting or gesturing at the beginning of a match, and why it's fucking stupid. If you do that, you're either a new player or a long-term player in denial that you think it's okay to do that, because that 1 second allows them to buff. That buff gives them a massive advantage. And the massive advantage leads to you dying and losing the fight. So that's the problem, okay? And you can go around it. You can deny all you want. See this guy? Let me show you something. Okay, let me kill him. Okay. You see the circle in the middle of the Colosseum here? If the fight starts and your opponent goes past this middle line and down the middle here, and he's standing over here, and still nothing has happened to him for like 5 seconds. See, that's the problem with gesturing, and that's the problem with passive players, okay? Because that's how they want to do you. You want to play the game, right? Because you're a normal human being, okay? You play the game a lot. You want to play the game. But what do they want to do? They want to stand there and do bullshit. They want to gesture. They're fucking stupid. So this happens to them. Look, I want to run at this guy, right? I run at this guy, and now see, we call this conditioning. You teach them not by telling them that emoting is stupid, by showcasing it by, you know, in a match. Show them that when they emote, they lose a massive advantage. And then the other thing you can do is show them what it means to be passive, okay? This is a passive person, and I'm showing him that if you want to do this, I can do this, okay? This is the answer to what you have done, okay? I can just roll back, because what is a thrust shield person use? You know, what is a thrust shield use? What kind of person is that? This is the kind of person that wants to attack. Remember this definition when I tell you this definition. The person that wants to attack but doesn't want to risk anything during that attack. That's what That's what a thrusting shield user is doing. And this defines 90% of the players in the Colosseum. The 10% are not real, honorable players, but they are going that way by not being a pussy like this, being a passive player. So that's what I say. If the match starts and I'm past the line, okay, we are two people. This is a duel, okay. This is a duel, me versus you, and I'm here. I conquered your bit of land, and you haven't done anything about it in the past 10 seconds. I'm sorry, but you think I'm a joke. You're disrespecting me, okay? You gotta stop me from getting close to your half. Where's your what? Do you want to fight, or what do you want to do? And it's like, yeah, look. Now this person is running away, okay? But what are they waiting for? They're waiting for me to attack. They're waiting for me to attack and then respond to that attack. Look. Running, turn around. He's turning around. Now he's trying to attack. He's fucking it up. Anyways. This guy is a mess. So that's the first rule to being an honorable duelist. When the fight starts, what else has happened? Nothing. The fight has started. It's not complicated. You don't have to, you don't have to gesture. You don't have to waste any time. Apply your buffs. Run back and do a ranged attack. Begin the fight. The fight has begun. You don't have to gesture. You don't have to fucking gesture. That's not part of the honor. Part of the honor that you have to hold up. But let me this is very simple. It's not going to be a long discussion of what an honorable duelist is. Here's what it is. Don't use status buildup. Did that sink in? I don't think it has. If you actually go to the Colosseum right now, you could be not an Elden Ring player and you don't do PvP, you're not in Colosseum, but in that case I would ask you to grow up, respectfully. And here it is, like this guy. Okay, he dodges 5 times. The fight has started, okay? He rolls back, dodges 5 times. He's looking at me, right? Like the fight is over. I'm not about to fight you anymore. I'm about to roll back and roll back again and again. And use status build up on you, use sleep to teach you a lesson in not being passive. And then this guy thinks, it's juice upon juice upon juice, and I'm so glad I do this to these kinds of people, because when I'm blasting them using bullshit weapons, using bullshit cheating, this is cheating by the way, but we're not gonna use the cheating word because it's like overused by me. At this point, I'm gonna give up on it. I'm gonna use dishonorable this time. Basically the same thing, but yeah, I'm gonna use dishonorable weapons against them. And what do? They pull out the real shit. What is the real shit? Is the shit that they would use on anyone they don't like, but they try to be nice. And that's the next point. Don't lie, okay? Don't lie about who you are. You know what that means? That means when you join a fight, whatever weapon you joined with, whatever army you joined with, that's you. But if it was up to these people, they would fucking they're gonna change their level, they're gonna change their stats, they're gonna try 7 different builds. This guy's connection sucks. Okay, this guy's connection is fucking retarded. And this is another way they can disrespect you. Okay, like if you're gonna be laggy and it doesn't matter, you're gonna take my hits whenever you want, whenever your internet wants. Like you're disrespecting me. Take the hits when your enemy, you know when your enemy is gonna hit. And if their hit doesn't land, you gotta ask yourself, was that a good fight? No, it was not. And yeah. So they join a fight, okay? And then they see you're using a specific weapon, and they run back to the end of the Colosseum, where they can change their armor, change their weapons, change their talismans. That's what they're gonna do. So they can't be themselves. See, this is how you can disrespect your opponents. This is how you can be dishonorable. My feet are actually falling asleep. Let me switch positions and shit. Yeah, and this is how they do. So the thing with them is that you're fighting them, And then you're like, oh, the fight has stopped. Why? And then you look at them, they go back. You know, they go back and they're like, I got the perfect weapon for you. But you're not here to have the perfect weapon for me. You're here to express yourself. They don't know what a fucking fight is. You're here to be yourself. But they don't do that. They change their weapon based on whatever the fuck is going on. And yeah, they don't get that that's not a fight anymore. Because we are here to test who we are, see if it works. If it doesn't, we're gonna change ourselves in the time before the fight, which is something these guys have no conception of. If you come to the Colosseum, you know, there's a lot of guys that come in here, okay, and they're AFK. I get that in my case, where I have 3,000 hours of the game. Of course, like fucking 100 of those fights, if you go to them, I was AFK. Why? Because I went to get fucking tea. Because that's what happened when you play this game this much. You're eventually gonna have those moments. But some of these people, you know, they don't play that much. And the few times they play, they're not paying attention. Okay, what do you wanna do, buddy? And here, this is another disrespectful thing. You know, the guy is far away from me. He knows he can't hit me with his weapon, but he still attacks. And you know, I see it. You know, I'm not gonna acknowledge it, but it does affect my subconscious. And then I become someone like him, you know. I don't care where my attacks land, I just attack, you know, randomly, without any intention of hitting anyone. And that guy was using a thrust damage weapon, which brings me to my next point. You know, see how I said no status build up? Don't use status build up if you want to be an honorable duelist. Why? Because players that are new to the Colosseum, they don't know that it goes through their roles. So don't use it. People are not gonna keep being in the Colosseum when you do that. They're gonna join, they'll be like, this is fucking impossible, because you're using status build up against them. They're gonna leave. That's what's gonna happen. And there are other ways of doing this too. The other way is don't throw shit pots when you kill somebody. Don't throw shit pots on top, and don't point down. Do it to me. I don't give a fuck. My skin too thick. You know, when you see William Turner in the Colosseum, do that shit to him. Do the worst you can. Which is not much. You can't do much. Okay, you can't do it. See, he doesn't. He thinks it's gonna land. Poor guy. But yeah. So what is happening right now is by dealing a lot of damage to him long range, I'm conditioning him. Okay, I'm conditioning him to always be aggressive. That's what I'm doing. I'm training the newbie. Look, this is, you see me in action, doing this in real time. So, yeah, there's a lot of problems. So that's one of the things that can happen, you know. New player comes in, you use status build up, they're like, what the fuck is going on? They're not gonna stand around to find out about it. They're gonna fucking leave. Another thing is disrespecting your shit pots at the end. When you kill them, you know, throw shit pots at them. That's stupid. When you do that shit to people, when you make people this angry, they're not gonna keep playing the game. They're gonna leave the Colosseum. And you don't want that. Of course, a lot of people want that. They want, because they're suicidal. Because that's what that is. If not enough players are in the Colosseum, what's gonna happen? What the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna go to another game. You can't play the game you've been playing. Because there ain't nobody else. Because you fucking bullied them out of there, you know? But they don't know that shit. And they do it. Another thing is, you know, being passive. That guy, like I said, it was using a thrust damage, and thrust damage really, you know, when you say that, the PTSD comes into my mind. I'm like, yeah, thrust damage. You know, you get your long, fast weapon. You put the spear talisman on, and then you just roll back, roll back. Wait for them to attack to punish them. And that's not, you know, 3 people in the Colosseum. 4 of the PvPers. That's 90%, like I said. And I wish I got more matches right now, because there's example upon example. I don't have to do anything. I'm gonna sit here and talk to you. And then 5 minutes later, you know, when the match is found, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see what I'm saying. Because the guy that I'm gonna attack is gonna roll back. I'm gonna attack him. He's gonna roll back, waiting for me to run out of stamina so he can attack. That's what he's gonna do. And that's how it is. You know, let me explain to you something. We can just both go to the, you know, separate, you know, respective ends of the Colosseum. The ends we spawn at, you know, we can go to the each separate end, and we can stand there and look at each other, and no fight is gonna take place. We're just gonna look at each other, and that's what it is. You know, that's what these people want. They want it to end. They don't want to do it. They don't want to play the game. That's what it is. If you're passive, that's what you are. Don't forget that. If you use regeneration and the Colosseum, don't forget what you are. You're the person that's destroying the Colosseum. No one's gonna play this shit if you do that. If you use regeneration, if you keep healing, you know, if you keep redoing the progress of your opponent, well, what the fuck is going on here? You know, well, let me explain. See, this guy. This is the passive guy. He's AFK. He's in the match. Okay, he's in the fucking match. Why is he AFK? And that's what he does. He rolls 7 times. Waiting for me to, you know, catch me off guard in his own world. And that's how he fucking does it. He wants to roll 10,000 times. Like this. And then do this. Roll 10,000 times. I wish we got different opponents. I would have shown you some shit. You know, I would have shown you some shit. The other one is getting to my next point. Don't disrespect your opponent by using weapons that are too fast. If your opponent can't dodge something, you're disrespecting them, because the game's coding is bullshit. Here it is. Here's one of the people I told you about. You see how the big weapon. Don't use weapons that are too big. I think actually this is a mace, right? I think this is, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I don't know the category of this fucking weapon because of how rare it is. I don't know the category. So as you saw right there, I ran at him, did a running attack, right? I ran and did a running attack. What did he do? He's like, oh, he didn't reach me. Time to punish. Wow, thank you. The benevolence of this guy to punish me for playing the fucking game. Thank him. But what he doesn't know is that I just pull out the blicky. The blicky in the Elden Ring PvP community is known as the blind spot. What is blind spot? Is when you have this arsenal. I'm gonna explain to you my arsenal, but one of them is against passive players, and I fuck their ass. Another kind of passive player is, like I said, you know, weapons that are too fast. Don't use weapons that are too fast. Let your opponent see that you're attacking so they can dodge it. See, for example, he saw me attacking. He decided not to dodge. Other than that, you know, not using weapons that are too fast. If you want to be a truly honorable player, okay, go ahead and heal. You know, what's the point? He heals. All right, let me teach a motherfucker a lesson today. How about that? Brothers sometimes need to be taught a lesson. And when you're out of range, don't attack. That's bad for the both of us. You know. You're brainless, you're making me brainless too by doing shit like that. So look at that fucking moron, okay? You see the big weapon in his hand? That's the other end of the spectrum. Don't use weapons that are too fast for your opponent, but don't use weapons that are too slow either. You know? Because of the shitty code of this game, people think it's okay to bring colossal swords and colossal weapons to the Colosseum. It's not. You're disrespecting yourself and your opponent. Why? Because let me explain to you how this works. If your connection isn't shit, you will never land one attack on a healthy, you know, human with a working brain. You're never gonna land an attack on a human with a working brain if you bring a colossal weapon to this fucking Colosseum, okay? Because here's how they do. You attack them, they dodge, they crouch attack. You dodge the crouch attack. You attack, you do another counter crouch attack. They dodge, they do a crouch attack, and that's it. And you're gonna roll, dodge attack, roll, dodge attack, roll, dodge attack, roll. That's what you're both gonna be doing for eternity. Is that a fight? You call that a fight? I mean, go ahead, but it's not a fucking fight. What is this? What is this next guy? What is a fucking loser? That's what it is. Look at the scythe. Look at the fucking side. Look. He thought he read me so good. And you know, this guy's actually not trash at the game, so I gotta concentrate. But he is, he can't be better than me, let me tell you this much. And why is that? Because I challenged myself. These guys didn't challenge themselves. And that's the problem with them. And I can't see shit because I'm doing a fucking chairless challenge. And this guy, you see, he's another passive. Don't mistake them, okay? Don't mistake them, you know, their moves are not, their moves aren't different, okay? The truth about these guys. I'm not landing it. I'm not landing it because I can't see shit. But the truth about these guys is that you don't have to mistake them. You know, don't mistake them for anything else. If they're passive and you fucking know it. Because see, he doesn't push me. He doesn't aggress until I switch to something long range, because I see him not aggressing, so I switch to something long range. What he does, he aggresses then. You know what? This is a great example. Why? Because I think this is a rematch. And this is great because this match perfectly encapsulates you, a person who has mastered the art of being passive. This guy is the master. And you know, a little bit of internet advantage never hurt him. Okay, you know, he's gonna do that. He's gonna use the advantage. Okay. He's gonna use the internet advantage to do dumb shit, like switch talismans in front of the opponent. He doesn't know that shit. He doesn't know spacing. He's not supposed to be able to switch that shit in front of me, but his internet allows him to, which is a smooth transition to people that use colossal weapons. Their internet allows them to, and that's the important point. Because normally it's not possible to land a single hit on a player. It's too slow. And you bring that slow shit to my Colosseum, I teach you a lesson, boy. If you bring that slow shit, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. If you bring that fast shit, I'll also teach you a lesson. You know, I'm out here teaching. You know, the king doesn't hate nobody, but his subjects, you know, they gotta do better. Here he comes again. You know, here he comes fucking again. Let me switch to the anti-passive weapon. Now he knows. See how he rolled, and he was like, I got you, man, with this roll attack. Because why? Because you attacked, and now it gives me the opportunity to respond. But what he doesn't know is that it's the anti-simp. It's the anti-fucking weak. It's the anti-passive weapon. And now you can't do anything. See, he went away. He went away. It's like a fly. You do this, he goes away. Wow, you're so... See, he's waiting over there. He's like, come to me. Oh, he did a running... He did a little running attack. What about here? You expect that? How about that? How about this? You expect this? It doesn't matter. He already switched his talismans. And this is one of the more strange players. Yeah. Let me check who it is. Yeah, he doesn't know how to disrespect either. He doesn't know how to disrespect. So he doesn't, he's like, he's almost one of those, you know, one of the people that drives other people away from the Colosseum, but somewhere along that line, you know, the brain malfunctions, so that's him now. He can't point down, he can't throw shit pots, so he throws sleep pots. That's what he fucking does. Next thing, you know, I'm gonna show you my arsenal next. Here it comes fucking again. Here it comes. Let me get under his nerves a little bit. This is the mental warfare. Because now he's like, wait, what is happening? He's rolling away and dealing damage to me at the same time. Also, I love that his latency allows for that. That's perfect, actually. You love to see it. You love to see how pathetic this shit is. Because homie, you know, homie thinks he's good at the game. Homie was never good at the game. Okay? Homie was never good at the game. I fucked his ass, you know. This is the person that used to be a bitch a while back. He used to be a little bitch, but then he did what? He did the unforgivable in the FromSoftware community. What is that? Let me teach you a lesson. You know, Melania, you know, in the FromSoftware games, Melania is a very difficult boss, you know, very difficult. And there are two ways to beat Melania. If you go and go on the internet, you know, there are old guys who have beaten Melania. There are, you know, people who never played a video game. Elden Ring is like their first game. They beat Melania. They can do it. You know, anybody can beat anybody. Why? Because you can survive them. You don't have to be a better player than them. Okay, you can just wait. You can just wait. And here he goes with the whip, rolling and crouch attack, rolling and crouch attack. And brothers, it's a good time to be in the Colosseum, because now I can teach you a lesson. Okay? I can teach you a lesson in being passive. And there is no fight. There is no fight to be had. There is no fight to be had with 90% of these players, and the 10% are not here right now. So I can't really show you. So Melania, right? Melania, they kill Melania, and even the weakest, you know, the weakest who don't know their way around the mouse and keyboard or controller, they can beat Melania. Why is that? Because you don't have to learn shit. Because you don't have to learn how to fight. You don't have to learn how to play the game. You can just deny the game, and that's what everybody in the Colosseum does. Deny the game. That's what that is. So you can wear 99, you know, maximum fucking 200 poise armor. Get a big weapon, right? You got a big weapon. You got enough healing. Okay. Now go fucking look at this fucking stupid motherfucker. And go got a shitty internet today in the arena, isn't it? What the fuck am I gonna do against this shit? You know, when my hits are landing 20 minutes later, I mean, you just wanna get hit by my hits whenever you want, that isn't it? You know? Good. Just keep rolling back. Keep rolling. Do that. And to think he thought, you know, get in his brain for a second. Look at him. No, don't look at me. Look at him. He thought he won a fight. He thought he won a fight. He didn't win a fight. Because I wasn't fighting. Because I was gone. The second I see you, you know, rolling, attacking, that's you denying the game. Because you just want to press 2. You like the buttons, you don't like the game. You want those buttons. You want to sleep with them, you want to marry them. But you don't want to play the fucking game. That's what you're gonna do. So that's what he does. And he thinks I'm playing. I'm not playing. My brain is off. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the camera. My brain is off. I'm just pressing buttons. Like you. That's what happens. I've become mindless like you. See, status build-up user. Let me teach the status build-up user a lesson. Hey, how about that? Alright. Let me, that's how you're gonna take it. Okay, you know, do that. Do that shit. How about that? Well, would you look at that? I didn't know he could actually use status build-up. But thank you for bowing, by the way. Thank you for bowing, because that means, you know, that means he is not aware. He is not aware. The community is not aware. I'm aware. I know. I see this shit. They don't see it because they never try. Because it's not in their nature. It's not. They're here to be themselves, but themselves is retarded. So they got to change that, but they can't. And you know, I'm here to talk about it because I tried. You know, I tried changing them. It's not possible. It's not fucking possible. You know, I tried alcohol. I tried disconnecting. You know, from the matches, to tell them, you know, the outcome of the fight doesn't fucking matter. It's the fight itself. That's the game. You know, the end screen doesn't say anything, but they don't understand that. They don't understand what I mean. They don't understand it. Yeah. So, going back to my equipment, you know. Let me tell you about my armor, okay? This is not one of those games where the armor, the armor is not. It's not like you're playing Red Dead Redemption. Okay? The armor isn't gonna be a match for all classes. It's not gonna be a fucking match. It's gonna be what? Oh yeah, use that. How about that? The armor is recognizable. That means that most of the fashion that people wear, it's not fashion actually. It's being stupid. It's being a clown. You look like a clown at the Colosseum. I'm talking to you, the entire community. You guys look like a clown because these armor pieces are not meant to be worn with each other. You see this shit? You see the armor? Oh, whoops. Game error. Let me reset my game. They don't understand though. See, the armor they're supposed to wear, right? The armor they're supposed to wear is given. There's a guide in the game itself. It's the name of the armor. If they don't match, you're not supposed to wear them together. How about that? You ever think about that? No. You gotta wear all the bullshit armor together. Call it fashion. Think it's interesting. It's not interesting. You look like a clown. Be yourself, find an armor you like, just wear the armor you like, wear the set, You don't have to roleplay as that character, but generally you wanna, you want your armor to mean something, right? You want armor to mean something. I mean, maybe I'm just describing myself, because my armor means something, my armor. You ever stand and think, what did William Turner's armor mean? Because my character, the veteran set, where does it come from? It's Commander Nile. Okay, Commander Nile. But he's an old guy. So why is my character young as fuck, but he's wearing the veteran set? What does it mean? Analyze that shit. What the fuck? Am I trying to say something? Yes. But you're not. You're just you're stupid. Because this level doesn't even come across, what am I trying to say? It doesn't even cross your mind. Okay, it doesn't even cross your mind. What did William Turner mean when he used unsheath? That means none of y'all bitches would have started the fight. It was just me. I started the fights. I unsheathed. Go read into my armor, read into my weapons. Okay, read the lore to see what I was trying to say here. Throughout that shit. And yeah, it doesn't matter. The stats don't matter. But they don't care. They go to these, AIDS Discord servers. There is no there is no thinking in those servers. It's gone. Thinking is gone. It's replaced with what? With formula. Formula that is gonna fail against me when you come to the Colosseum. When where you're in a real fight, your shit doesn't work because you're fucking stupid. Look at this. Go ahead and buff. Why don't you buff, huh? Why don't you go ahead and buff in my fucking Colosseum? You come around, you think it's okay. You think there's no problem to come in here and buff. But now I teach you what's the problem with it. Because you're almost dead now, aren't you? And you start rolling, okay? Look at this shit. Look at how pathetic this shit is. This is the kind of shit I'll deal with. He's not even in range. He's what the fuck? Game almost crashed. He's not even in range, okay? He's not gonna hit me. And he knows this, but he keeps doing it. And it's so. Here's my equipment, right? Here's my equipment. Here's my armor, the veteran set, but my character is young because I grew up fast, I got better than all of them. I got better than all of them in a very short span of time. And don't go look at my stats. It's not the stats that's giving me the win. I'm not gonna show you my stats. The stats don't fucking matter. Okay? The weapons don't matter. The ashes of war don't matter. It's the person using them. Who's this? It's a disconnect. And so the unsheath, ask yourself what it means. What did William Turner means when he uses shit? The unsheath and the urumi, the Nagakiba and the urumi are my signature weapons. Okay, I stuck to them. I learned them. I learned them pixel by pixel. I know where they land. I know what they do. But they don't master anything. You know, they're with the wind. You know, whichever way the wind goes, they go with it. If they give an update, okay, and they make something stupid, you know, make the flails powerful. Everybody gonna do flails all of a sudden. Oh, why is that? Because you were, you know, you really like how the flails look. Is that why? Is that why you're gonna use the flails? No, because someone told you they're good. And here it is. You know, here it is. Here it is. Here's the spacing problem. He never spaced anything, so he doesn't know. He doesn't understand. At least he was wearing the set, actually, the Solitude set. You know, that's better to see. But you're still using the great sword. You're still using the fucking great sword. And there's no need to learn when you're in this community. There's no need. Just follow what other people do. Just follow what other people do. Why think, you know, why be original? Why be yourself when you can be other people? I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, get into that. But yeah, it's quite simple, you know. To be an honorable duelist, don't use status build-up. Don't shit on your opponent's grave when they die. How about that? Don't point down. That's discouraging them. You're making them leave. Don't be passive. How about that? Don't be passive when your opponent is trying to engage with you. Don't be passive. There's no need to be passive. This guy is not, he will never be as good as me. He knows that. Because of the number of times I flawlessed him. The number of times I parried every single one of these people. What does my parry mean? What did William Turner mean when he parried me? That means I understand you. I understand when you're gonna attack. I've seen this attack 1,000,000 times. That's it. That's what it is. When I see them in the Colosseum bitching about latency. It's like, how about we understand the latency? How about that? How about we make it part of the fight? But they don't want to do that. They want to avoid it. They want to deny it. So they do the private fights, where connection is good with a certain set amount of people. They don't have to be responsible. But that's not the Colosseum. But that's not what the Colosseum is about. What the fuck is this shit? The fuck is this? And this is good. This is one of the axe things they do. So the question remains, how am I gonna get out of this fight, right? What the fuck? Or if any of your attacks are gonna land at any point of the swing, I mean, you're kind of undermining the fight, don't you? And that's what it is. They're trying to take it away from themselves. You know, they take it away from the human element of the Colosseum. So now it's all numbers. Whatever combo they use, you gotta use that combo. Go get it. Go get what everybody else is doing to win. But what about what you like? No, you can't do what you like because it doesn't work. Well, how about I make it work, huh? How about, seen that shit, you know? Snake Lover, what the fuck is this? Snake, I don't know who the fuck Snake Lover is. But I don't like how homie is spamming that shit. I don't know why. I don't know, he gave up after the last fight, he gave up. And he's doing the same shit over and over again. But yeah, it's let me check who that is. I don't know this name actually. What the fuck? I don't know. This is not a regular player. But that's the thing. It's simple. Don't shitbot people when they die. Don't use status build up. Don't be passive. Don't heal yourself. You know, whatever damage your opponent does, give it to them. You know, admit it that those attacks were. You know, this attack didn't come from nowhere, did it? You saw me coming at you. You could have dodged it. They say I parry you guys when I see your attacks come. So what? You wanna use your shield? You wanna roll away until the opportunity is ready for you to attack? How about I make my opportunity in front of you? Check this shit out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for myself. Something you ain't never seen, huh? This guy, you know, what's his name, bro? Rocky? Rocky, until today, you've been waiting for people to give you the opportunity to win, weren't you? You're standing back, waiting for them to give you the win by coming close to you. Isn't that what you were doing? Or how about I don't do that? How about I don't give you the win? That's how he's gonna learn. The next time he's gonna be like, oh, this guy is the guy that uses the sleep boats. He's gonna run at me. And that's how you teach them. But that's for a short while. You can't change people like that. Maybe some people. But most people know. Most people are gonna go back. This guy is gonna be like this for like 5 minutes. And if I fight him again in 30 minutes, he's gonna do the same shit. He's gonna run away. He's gonna think it's not gonna kill him. It's gonna kill him. People think, you know, being passive in front of the Ansbach sleep bow is something they can do. They can't do it. It's not possible. Of course, give it enough time, they're gonna do it. They're gonna find a way. But yeah, anything to do instead of learning the game. They would do anything. They would do anything instead of learning the game. And that's what this is. So to show honor, you know. To show honor, that's how it is. That's how you show sportsmanship, by not cheating, you know, by letting them, you know, actually engaging with them. How about that? Okay. You wanna do this? You know, the fight is over. I'm not gonna fight you. But when I run at you and you go back, you're all waiting for me to be out of breath so you can punish me, we're not fighting. You're the righteous man that I'm trying to be. And you know, you're getting away from me, and you're gonna punish me for not being able to live up to your standards. But you didn't know I make my own standards, did you? Did you know that? Now I'm punishing you for rolling. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about you don't use status buildup? And this is what you just love. Is when you fuck them in the ass and you're like, maybe he was just a chill guy, he didn't know that he was being disrespectful. Then they pull out their bullshit builds. They become who they are all of a sudden. And you know, get inside their head for a second. Get inside their head. Because it's interesting, you know. Because to them, it's like they have this ultra omega mode that when activated, it's like Goku. Okay, I don't know, I never watched Dragon Ball Z or whatever the fuck the name is, but it's like Goku. Okay, they want to activate, and they only do it for the bad guys. If they see a bad guy, they're gonna become the right guy. Okay, they're gonna become righteous. They're gonna punish the bad guy. That's what they are, and that's what they're gonna roll back, and yeah, you wanna keep going backwards until you can find a way to punish me for playing with you. Sure, do that. But you're gonna fucking die, okay? That's what's gonna happen to you. Yeah. That's how it is. That's the problem. And they do this. They do it and they don't care. They go back and they activate their powers. Because they think you're a bad guy. And they're the good guy. So they're gonna be like, I'm gonna show you. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna roll back and they're gonna pull out the Peta. But the Peta ain't gonna do shit because I'm not who they usually fight. Roll back. Okay, roll back. What if I attack now? You're gonna attack? Yes, you're gonna attack. Why? Because you're waiting to punish me. Because you're the Punisher. Because that's what religious people are. Find out if this guy is good or bad and then punish him. That's what it is. You wanna combo me into oblivion? How about I show you some combos of my own, huh? Nice. There you go, and now you're being hunted. How about that? How about you roll out of my spinning slash? Can you do that? You can't. Oh, you have the combo too. You have the bullshit combos too. Glad I used it against you then, huh? Am I not glad for doing that? Yep, I'm certainly glad. Let me People ask why you use soap. People do that. What does soap mean? What does soap mean? Because you have nothing to do with it. I don't claim these people. I don't claim these people. They're my subjects, but I don't want them. I don't like them. I am the king of the Colosseum, but I don't like these people. But that's what they are. They're my subjects, so I have to keep being with them. I can't give up on them. But I don't fucking like them. I don't claim them. These are fucking stupid. These people are fucking stupid. You see this guy I told you about 5 minutes ago? And now he's gonna be a little bit more aggressive, coming towards me. He knows if he gets away he's gonna die. So now he learns. He learned it. But this is lesson number 2. He learned the first one, now I'm gonna teach him another one. This is called spinning slash, my brother. You shouldn't be passive, but you shouldn't be that aggressive either. You're gonna go back to do that? No, you're not. You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna cast no moon. You're gonna cast no moon. And you know, they don't realize, because it's fun to them that they're casting something and it's hitting their opponent without even, you know, while they're rolling. They think it's funny or some shit. I don't know. They feel good about it when they win, even when their opponent is not fighting. It's obvious they're not fighting. It's obvious they're just spamming. But they don't care. They don't care about that. They don't wanna. They don't wanna understand. They don't wanna understand. Some of them can't understand. And that's something you gotta understand. As the king, I mean, I'm talking to myself over here. As the king, you gotta understand your subjects. And now he pulls out the moon veil, the answer to all of his problems, no doubt. Oh, the parry didn't land. Oh, now you're gonna dart. The swift dart is one of those weapons that I told you is like it's too fast. So you're disrespecting your opponent by throwing at them something they can't dodge. And now this is a lesson in humility for this guy. Why? Because I'm gonna show him that everything he does, unless it's status, see, he learned it. He learned that lesson. Unless it's status build up, it's not gonna hit me. So give up on it. Give up on that shit. And then I'm gonna do this. Back to the spinning slash. But he can't know. Because there is no, English translator for the Colosseum. He's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? He doesn't understand that I'm trying to tell him that it's not gonna work out for you. That this fight is unwinnable. This fight is unwinnable. But he doesn't. But he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to understand that, because his internet helps him. He doesn't need to understand it, and that's it. Some people can't know. They can't know this shit because the opportunity for them to learn doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And that's how it is. That's how the Colosseum is. And that's how you can be honorable. This is not your homie Roger the Sun Bro. This is not Roger the Sun Bro or Jeff. Jeff the Swamp Pyromancer, okay? This is not Jeff the Swamp Pyromancer. This is William Turner, okay? I did it. I fucked with all of them. Single-handedly, Single-handedly ruled the Colosseum. And this guy wants to be the perfect example of being passive. This guy wants to be the perfect example. This guy wants to be the perfect example of being passive. What he doesn't know is that I got the cheese. You know what the cheese is? The cheese is that. But it doesn't work. Because he has mastered the art of not playing the game. He has mastered it. And you don't see it. He's like, wait. Did he open Elden Ring? Yeah, he's in Elden Ring right now, right? So he's playing it. But do they ask me that question because I tell them the truth? They're not playing Elden Ring. They're not playing it. They're doing other shit. They're not here with me. I'm in the Colosseum. You can see me. You know, it's me. It's actually William Turner. That's me. But they're not in the Colosseum. Their mind is somewhere else. Their mind is somewhere else because they can't. They are unable to be in the Colosseum. So who's this? Oh, it's this motherfucker. So, how about I actually do something about this guy, huh? How about I do something about this guy? And I'm dead. I'm dead. Why? Because he went on the Google. He went on the Google to look for the fucking poise value of the fucking hammer, so he can min-max it. So he's not stunned out of it. He's not stunned out of it. And this is what happens. Let's go back to the Millennia thing. I don't think I ever finished that thought. Shit keeps coming up. Everybody can beat Millennia, but there's two ways to do it. You can learn the fight, you can learn the attacks, you can parry the attacks, or you don't have to parry the attack, just dodge the attack. Learn to dodge the attacks. Okay? You can do that. Or you can force it. You can force the Millennia fight by having 2,000 poise. You know, when you have 2,000 poise, you don't have to do it, because then nothing is gonna get you out of it. And you can just keep spamming your weapon. And then when you do that, you know, and an opening is eventually gonna come. You don't have to learn the attacks. You don't have to roll. You don't have to do anything. Just keep spamming the same thing. Attack. If it doesn't work out and you see your health, you know, being lowered, just go ahead and heal. How about that? Just heal. You can use the talisman that increases your poise when you heal, so you don't have to think ever again in your life. How about that? So yeah, there are degrees to it, okay? You can be alive this much. You can be alive this much. See, this is how you guys play Elden Ring. This is how much you play Elden Ring. This is how much I play Elden Ring. It's off the fucking frame. You can't see it. Fucking what about this guy? What about this guy? Will he ever learn the game? Or will his lag cause him to never need to learn the game? Or the fact that he went on Google for the poise amounts, and now he's not gonna be moved out of anything. Any of his bullshit is not gonna be moved. He's not gonna be moved out of it. All this shit, you know. He does that to win, but he doesn't know that he's denying himself the opportunity to become good at the game. He's denying himself, but he can't know. And that's the point, you know. This is less like a do these things kind of video, and more like, if you do these things, you are honorable. This is like the 16 personality types, but yeah, there's like 2 types instead. And this guy, you know, he was really arrogant that time, you know, teabagging, and now he's being aggressive. But that's a mistake, and I'm about to teach him why. I'm about to teach him why you don't teabag. You know, you pay respect. You pay respect to people for playing the game, because if you disrespect people, they're gonna leave the Colosseum. That's what I'm gonna teach him today. Oh, you're walking backwards. Why is that? You looking for something, buddy? Hey! You looking for something? No, you're looking for nothing. Look at you. Let me clap for you. Oh, he disconnected. He didn't know I'm not just a player looking to boost my ego by winning. He didn't know that I'm the king of the Colosseum, and I love it when people are in the Colosseum. He doesn't understand. So he left before I could clap for him. He left before I could applaud him. And that's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame. Because they think they don't know me. They don't know me. They don't know I'm different. They don't know I'm actually different in this game. They don't know I'm the king. They don't understand that. They don't understand that shit. That's what you get for buffing. You get one hit. And now you want to roll backwards. How about that? How many rolls? 7? 10? 12? Oh, 10,000? So you can run back and buff again? Well, isn't that just fantastic? But let me at least punish you for that. Alright? There it is. And now you're gonna do something? You're gonna do something? Well, that was something. I call that something. But that's it. You're gonna die because you don't know what's going on. Open your eyes. Open your eyes, not because I'm telling you to, because I'm proving to you guys. I'm proving to you guys that what happened, you know. I'm not just asking you to ask questions, I'm forcing you. What happened when this William Turner guy didn't care about his stats, only cared about his fashion? What if he never used meta weapons? What if he never used goofy weapons? What if he just chose a weapon that he liked and he used that? He never cheated, he never disrespected anybody. What happened when he did that? He won? That's not possible, is it? Oh, he did. Well, holy fucking shit, I wonder how the fuck he did that. Because it's not possible, you know, you have to disrespect people, right? You have to be passive, right? You have to stand at the back of the fucking arena, right? You have to stand at the back of the fucking arena, man. Taking that. Oh, you're looking at me, are you surprised? How about some sleep, huh? How about some sleep? How about some sleep? How about some sleep? How about some sleep, mi amigo? How about some sleep? How about I hunt you down, huh? How about I hunt you down with this? How about I hunt you down? How about you run right about now? How about you learn you can't be passive? How about you learn that? How about you learn that shit? How about you run away and switch to your little fucking talismans and armor that give you regeneration? Huh? How about you realize that shit? Huh? How about you realize you can do that? Yeah. You did all that, but you didn't know I had the anti-passive weapon, did you? Now you're fucking dead with your with the armor you changed to not die. With the weapons you changed, the talismans you changed to not die, but you died. Now you gotta ask. But the Turner guy didn't change his weapons, did he? He didn't cast any buffs. He didn't heal, did he? Ever. He didn't heal. He never healed. Did he use status build-up normally? No, he used his own weapon. But we bullshitted him too much. Now he's trying to teach us. He's trying to condition us like a fucking, you know, you get the psychology reference. I'm trying to, you know that. You know, you get the psychology reference. So the next time you want to buff in my Colosseum, I'm not just gonna tell you it's disrespectful. I'm gonna kill you to show it. I'm gonna make you lose the fight. And then I'm gonna clap for you. But I'm gonna use the soap because I don't want you on me. I don't want your stupidity on me. I'm gonna clean it off. I'm gonna forget about you. But you're not gonna forget about me, are you? You know, because I encouraged you when everybody was pointing down to you, when everybody was shitting on you, when everybody played passively. You know, who applauded you? Who actually engaged with it? It was the king. It was the king of the Colosseum. And come back to it. Come back to it and think about what I meant to this game. And this is for my future self too, you know. It's for my future self. I want him to understand what I meant for this game. Now here, this is good. This is good, but you have to understand a few things like timing. You have to understand. But that's good, you know. His armor was whack. I like my opponent to look better when I'm fighting him. You know, what's wrong with a set of a set of armor that is from one of the characters, and you know, it's recognizable. The artists designed all the pieces at the same time, so they follow a theme. How about that? Yeah, I would like my opponents to look better. okay? But I can't get what I want, can I? It's not possible. It's not fucking possible. But yeah, that guy, you know, that guy, he didn't gesture. He didn't buff. He just fought. He just played the game. That's what he did. But this guy, he doesn't play the game. He doesn't play the fight. He does he know about spinning slash, or does he not know about spinning slash? No, he perfectly outskilled and outmaneuvered me. Or did he? You know, you sometimes gotta ask yourself. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself these questions. Because you don't have to be told. You get a will of your own. When does that happen? When you fight. When you actually fight. Not like these guys. Not like these guys. You know, the game told me I won. Did I really win? You know, did I really win? But they don't ask them. See, the option is here. The option is given to me. Do you want to discard these results? Yes. Why did they give me the option? Because they know who the fuck they're dealing with. Because it's like, okay, it's the king, you know, he knows whether the fight was an actual fight or not. So they give me the option. And I'm like, no, it wasn't a fight. Why would I lie? I never lie. My 2 weapons, remember that. It was unsheathed Nagakiba. It was the Urumi. My weapons never changed. My weapons never changed. I didn't run back and switch to something else. You wanna keep going, buddy? Okay. You wanna be passive about it. And now you wanna come to Korea? Well, let me teach you something about the spinning slash. Oh, there's a delay too. There's a delay. You're gonna receive my attacks late, ain't you? But you're gonna receive my parry. I mean, if you didn't pause a little bit right there. You're waiting for something. I know you got the stamina. And then it's like, no. It's like when you want to take my hits whenever you want instead of when you're supposed to. It's like, yeah, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. I don't know how long this video has been. I don't know if I got my points across. But yeah, I will understand. When I later watch this video, I will understand myself, hopefully. I mean, with my track record, it hasn't been the case. Usually when I go back, I'm like, what the fuck did I mean by this? Fuck. But I hope I understand this bit at least. That I was the king. That once upon a time I did. You know, I was the king of PvP. And no one told me that. You know. No one gave me the title. They didn't give it up. I had to fight for it. And when they denied it, I refused the denial. I told them it is true. It is, I am the king. I am the king of the Colosseum. And they're not gonna accept it. They're not gonna accept it. Because they can't understand what I mean. They can't understand that. So yeah. That's it. That's how it is. Like the point, like all these challenge videos that I do, playing Elden Ring in windowed mode, playing Elden Ring in and all these kinds of challenges, no UI. What was William Turner trying to say by that challenge? I'm trying to say the opponent you're seeing on your screen, you know this guy? He could be playing with no mouse. He could be playing with the touchpad as a challenge. But you can't know. You can never know the opposite side of yourself. They could be doing any number of things. That's why you gotta respect, not disrespect the other person. That's the way to honor. That's the way to honor. One last fight. One last duel to close this video. Fine. Who the fuck is it? It's someone with 10 tons of copium in their hand and around their body to protect them. 20 tons worth of steel, and you can't even use it. Look at this shit. What are you gonna do? You're gonna heal? You're gonna heal. Good. I like that. I love it when you heal. I love it. because that means you can't take it. I can take it. You know, whatever hit you hit me with, I can take it. It is what it is. 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 You want a crouch poke? 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 Okay, keep crouch poke. The most, some of the most delusional people I've ever seen in the Elden Ring PvP community. I applaud you though, you know. I applaud you for being yourself. So unapologetically. I will get to the next duel here if something else hasn't come up, but the video is over.